Copyright, a horror or an honor? For many teachers, copyright is confusing and frustrating. This video will attempt to demystify copyright and make it a friend, not a foe. To refresh your memory, let's quickly look at the definition for copyright. It is the exclusive legal right to print, publish, perform, film, or record literary, artistic, or musical material, and to authorize others to do the same. Does that make copyright good or bad? Does the little guy always lose? Of course, we've all pictured the big corporate companies squashing the little guy. For example, in India, police busted a racket involving unauthorized duplication of medical textbooks. The group is selling the books for a fraction of the cost to medical students who before would not have been able to buy them. Is this okay? Makes you wonder who is benefiting from copyright. Let's look at another example from Andrew Potter's paper, Is Copyright Unconstitutional? Michael Jackson used to own the copyright to most of the music of the Beatles, which means no one can copy, to sell, or to enjoy Hey Jude without Michael Jackson's consent, because copyright gives the holder exclusive right to the copyrighted material. Our final example is a 15-year-old boy who wants to keep Alzheimer's patients safe and invents a pressure sensor that can be worn on the bottom of a sock. This sensor detects increased pressure and sends a signal to the caregiver's smartphone. The boy developed his product independently and tested it on his grandfather. His innovation has already won him $50,000 prize and Science in Action Award from the Scientific American magazine. Is it okay for him to hold a copyright, or should someone be able to produce his invention? It could save lives. What if a big company came in and was able to copyright and produce it faster than he could? Would that be fair? I think we can agree that that would not. So copyright is here to protect everyone. So what is covered by copyright? Well, let's see. Written works, computer programs, dramatic works, films, music works, compositions, songs, artist works, drawings, performances, sound recordings, and so much more. It seems like everything can be copyrighted, right? Wrong. You can't copyright an idea. All copyright does is take one way of expressing it, make it off limits. Ideas remain safe from the laws of copyright, for better or worse. For example, John Lennon can write and copyright Give Peace a Chance, but he cannot copyright the idea that peace is desirable. So fear not, there is still lots of room for freedom of speech to prevail, since the ideas that underlie or inspire are not covered under copyright. So what does this mean for you? Why is it important for teachers to understand copyright? Wouldn't you want your creations protected? I know I would. If you have created something you were proud of, wouldn't you want to protect it? Remember the student with the great sensor product? We want to protect him. By allowing people to reap the benefits of their own labor and creativity, creates an incentive to work. As teachers, we educate future copyright owners and users. So it is crucial that we understand how to use copyright-protected materials properly. We must lead by example and protect the work of others by only using it with permission and teaching our students how to use the work of others as permitted by the Copyright Act. How do you know what you can use in your classroom? It is not as difficult to determine as you might think. Let's start with the basics. Teachers, instructors, and members in nonprofit educational institutions may communicate and reproduce in paper or electronic form short excerpts from a copyright-protected work for the purpose of research, private study, criticism, review, news reporting, education, satire, and parody. This means you and your students can listen to MP3s and comment or critique the music for a unit on musical production. But wait, there's more. Copywriting and communicating short excerpts from a copyright-protected work under fair dealing guidelines, which you can find in the link below, for the purpose of news reporting, criticism, or review, should mention the source with as much information as is available. Don't worry, this is easy. Use short pieces of well-referenced work and you are safe. You can even give a single copy of a short excerpt to each student in your class as a handout, part of a course pack, or on a password-protected learning management system or website. Well, that's all good, but what makes a short excerpt? How long is too long? Here are some examples to help you. One chapter from a book, a single article from a periodical, including newspaper articles, an entire artistic work, including a painting, print, photograph, diagram, drawing, map, and chart from a copyright-protected work containing other artistic works, a poem or musical score from a copyright-protected work containing other poems or musical scores, an entire entry from an encyclopedia, annotated bibliography, dictionary, or other similar referenced work. Just remember that the rule is up to 10% of a copyright-protected work is safe to use in an educational setting. Sounds pretty good so far, right? Now that we know what we can use, let's talk about how we can use it. What do we want to know as 21st century teachers? Well, the most important part of our current culture. What can we remix? As long as the product is for non-commercial purpose, original source is mentioned, original work is gotten legally, and the student-generated content does not have an adverse effect on the market for the original work, then your students can mix away. One of the best ways to find material for remixing, or to use in media projects, is to look for Creative Commons media. There are lots of images, sounds, and other multimedia available to be used with proper sourcing. Copyright is not as evil as it seems, and as teachers, it's important that we act with care and encourage our students to do the same. Good luck!